back to my channel. I am back with this week's Teen Mom Recap. Before I get started with this week's video, I would love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every single week about the newest episode of Teen Mom: The Next Chapter. I did miss last week because they didn't air an episode last week. It was the 4th of July, obviously. But we are back this week with a new episode which has Janelle in it and her new man. So let's go ahead and get started. So we begin with Sean and Jade still homeschooling. What's this, Chloe? O-U-T. Out. What about this word? N-O-W. Now. Good job. Out now. Now we know what to say to Daddy when we catch him on Tinder. So I've been super busy. I got my real estate license, and then I do that, I still do hair, and I homeschool Chloe. But Chloe's been saying that she wants to go back to school. That would be great, actually. Then Sean could go back to work. The bullying was preferable to poor Chloe than being with Sean and Jade all day. How sad is that? Caitlin is worried about Veda. She says that she gets overstimulated when the class is too loud. And she does that at home, too. And they show Veda freaking out a bit when one of those Sky Dancer toys gets launched. But no, like, everyone who grew up with those Sky Dancer toys knows that that is a perfectly valid reaction. Those are projectile weapons, okay? I got whacked in the face with one of those Sky Dancers as a kid. Big old mark on my face for days. Apparently they were recalled for giving kids facial lacerations that required stitches. Every girl with a childhood was probably injured by one of those beasts. Anyway, Veda is also not speaking clearly, and the school wants her to have an IEP. The occupational therapist calls Caitlin and discusses Veda's upcoming appointment. Caitlin worries if she has autism, but the therapist says that they don't test for that until it starts impacting her education. Janelle arrives to Las Vegas, and she's picked up by her manager, or as I like to call him, her man for short, August Keene. And we actually get a good look at him here, unfortunately. He kind of gives like Kiefer vibes a little bit with like the bad facial piercings at his big age. I want to focus on business. Well, I got a no contact order pending with David. You've been going through a lot. Speaking of business, I came upon an opportunity with the grower in the cannabis space. I brought you up in the conversation. I always wanted a marijuana brand. It helps me medically and mentally. I want this to be personal. I put effort into every product that I make. Gotta clear my throat there. My favorite Janelle phenomenon, Janelle-ism, shall we, is how she has all these health issues that are all related to like breathing and her esophagus. And she blames it on literally everything except her daily smoking for like 15 years. More actually, I think it's like 20 years. Like no, that couldn't possibly be it. We're not gonna address that. August says, I'm glad the David obstacle is gone. This is like a new chapter in your life. Aha! There it is. It's like when they say the name of the movie in the movie, or they say the name of the song in the song. Except it's really cringy because you know MTV is like forcing them to say that phrase in every conversation. The next chapter. Next is Briana. I can't believe my mom's a drug addict. I just need to process everything. Bitch, I'm sure you're processing everything at 3 times speed with them big ass glasses. Got you seeing molecules like Janelle Evans. Jade, I'd love to give you a call regarding this. So Briana calls Jade, the resident addiction expert. She says, so I found out some new information from my grandma. Back in the day, my mom was addicted to heroin for a long time. Then she got on methadone. She's been on and off methadone since she was pregnant with Brittany. Brittany is 32 years old. She never told us this. No one did. Apparently the whole family knew except us. Uncles, aunts, grandmas, grandpas. I feel like I'm going into a dark place. Have you ever done Al-Anon, Briana? I'm sorry, but like, Briana's family is just weird as hell. I understand not telling them this stuff when they're like really young, but both of them have been adults for well over a decade. So to still not tell them extremely important information is crazy to me. Like, it's not just the drug addiction that she didn't tell them about. She didn't tell them who Brittany's biological dad was. She was lying about that to her whole life. She didn't tell them that Brittany's biological father had passed away. She didn't tell them that she was in contact with Briana's biological dad. She's just very weird. Casanio's mom is coming to visit Mackenzie soon. Ironically, her name is actually Angie. Mackenzie says his mom is named Angie, my mom is named Angie. It just seems like it was meant to be. Her meeting my kids is important. Cassania says Jamaica is big on respect, so let's make sure that the place is clean and we behave in front of her. She arrives and she's very warm. She gives all the kids hugs and Mackenzie a hug as well. She seems very nice. Caitlin brings Veda to the assessment and she starts to cry. She says, I just don't want this to affect her in the future. Tyler reassures Caitlin, we're doing the right thing. I wish my parents did this when I was younger. They just said I had behavioral issues and that was that. Later, Caitlin says, we met with the teacher. Veda does struggle with loud noises. She comes out yelling and angry and crying, but she's also exceeding with everything academically in class. Briana goes to Roxanne's place to empty out the fridge, because I guess Roxanne didn't do that before she left. I got a link to go to an Al-Anon meeting, so I'm going to do that today. God, not this storyline again with the Al-Anon meetings. Like, we already saw Macy do this, and Jade, and they don't even show us the meeting, so it's just like nothing. Brittany says, my problem with mom is how she treats me. It really doesn't have anything to do with the drugs. Like, as long as you don't touch drugs again, we're Gucci. Briana says, what if drugs are why she treated you like that, though? Brittany says, no, it goes deeper than that. And I kind of agree with Brittany here. I don't like when people blame everything on the drug use. Like, oh, it wasn't me, it was all the drugs. Like, no, you still have to take, like, some personal responsibility. Like a DUI. Let's say you hit a family of 4 and you kill someone. Like, oh, it was the alcohol. Like, no, you drove the car still. Janelle gets a phone call. It's a debt collector trying to get this month's payment for David's motorcycle. Janelle says, fuck! And August has to come comfort her. She says the loan for the motorcycle is in my name, but the title is in his name, so I can't sell it. There's nothing I can do. I'm sick of living with anxiety all the time. I really need this cannabis meeting to go well so I can leave North Carolina. Which, by the way, these scenes were filmed, like, I would say 10 months to, like, a year ago at this point, and as far as we know, she's still in North Carolina, and I don't know if she ended up partnering with this business. I do know that she ended up partnering with the cannabis company, like, a long time ago, probably, like, 4 or 5 years ago, and the company got, like, barraged by her haters on social media, and to the point where they were like, we have nothing to do with Janelle Evans, we are ending this partnership. So with this one, this new one, I don't know if the same thing's gonna happen. Adriana from Green Med Wellness, the cannabis company, comes to me with Janelle. She says, we're a Black-owned dispensary. We started 7 years ago. We have a hot box room, comedy nights, we do plenty of things. We work with celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg and Gary Payton. What makes you want to be a part of this? Well, I was on Teen Mom, and I was like, it's about this time of the day, I want to smoke. And that resonated with everyone. I think that's a great idea. Which, by the way, that was a very popular, like, memeable scene in 2011. She's a bit late. I mean, people still remember it. I still see it on TikTok and stuff. But you do have to keep in mind that it's been, like, 13 years since that scene and since, like, Teen Mom's peak. So I'm not sure if this is as big as a business opportunity as this business owner thinks it might be. Moms are shamed for smoking, you know, and I just want to combat that. Girl, all your kids had weed in their system at birth. You are not a great representative. I'm thinking we do a spin-off, like that time of the month, for women who use weed for period cramps. This is going to be a fun ride. Casanio goes out for dinner with his mom. He says, with Mackenzie, I think it's like a transition. I went from being alone to having 3 kids. It makes me feel special. Do you see Mackenzie as your wife? Yes, I do. No doubts. This is a very short scene because there's literally no drama. And I have not seen a single flaw with Casanio yet. He really seems amazing. So kind of boring, but good for them. Chloe goes to an assessment for a potential private school that she might want to attend. Sean says to Jade, watching you do all this stuff gives me a drive to get a career. Maybe he can ask Zach for help. Jade says, we could be a power couple. The school calls to say that Chloe was accepted with flying colors, and Jade is very happy. Janelle calls Briana to get advice. Briana says, make sure this move is for you and your kids. Yeah, but no matter where I go, David's gonna be pissed. And my mom, I feel like she might try to follow me. When I had Jace, she stopped being a mom to me. Yeah, because she had to be a mom to Jace because you weren't doing it. August says, I know you in a way that a lot of people don't know you. I appreciate you as a human being. And she smiles at him in like this flirty kind of way. In her confessional, she says, this was a friendship before it was ever management. Haha, yeah, friendship. Just friends. After the Al-Anon meeting, Briana and Brittany were not very impressed. That was boring. Not what I expected it to be. When I think about an addict, it's not what I picture when I see mom. I think the meeting actually made me feel worse. It just made it real to me, and I'm not ready to accept it. Tyler's mom calls him and Caitlin, and Tyler gives an update on Veda's report. He says she does have some sensory issues, but she loves her calm down corner that they provide at school. Maybe we could set up a calm corner for her at home too. And they do set up a little corner for her, and she loves it. Mackenzie has a chat with Casanio. I hope you still love my kids after you see how wild they are. I loved them before I even met them. I told myself that after Josh, I was going to be single forever. I don't have any help. I'm a single mom, you know? And it still didn't scare Casanio away. I'm really happy that his mom is coming in as grandma. My kids don't have my mom anymore, and they were really close with her. Casanio later goes with his mom to pick out rings. He says, I'm trying to sign away my life a little. Time to look at engagement rings. And he does look around a little bit, but ultimately he decides that he wants to make sure with her dad first before he proposes. And that's all for this episode of Teen Mom, the next chapter. What do we think of Janelle and August's relationship? Do we think they're like a thing? And what do we think of Janelle's potential business partnership? Make sure to leave a comment down below and make sure to subscribe for more Teen Mom recaps every week.